weather and comfort food are two things that go hand in hand. And here today to take it to the next level, get ready for this, with her bacon-wrapped meatloaf is LA Times Test Kitchen Director Noelle Carter. Welcome, Noelle, to our home.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
I don't think we've been happier to see anyone in this kitchen. We're talking about bacon-wrapped meatloaf.
Okay, well,
that is unbelievable.
You've got meatloaf is like one of the ultimate comfort foods, and then it was like, well, why not gild the lily? And bacon makes everything better, really, right?
Bacon really does make everything better. And as the director, you oversee every single recipe that goes online or in the newspaper.
It's a few hundred recipes a year, so gosh, I've overseen at least a couple thousand recipes.
Oh my gosh, so how did this one come about?
Well, you know, we get a lot of reader requests for like their favorite recipes, and people love comfort food. They love the fancy dishes, but most people like to go out to eat the fancy dishes. But when you're cooking for family, you want something that's easy, something that you can count on, and something that's going to taste good. And people love meatloaf.
Who doesn't love meatloaf? And when it's wrapped in bacon, how can you resist it? As you can see,
totally lost Cameron. Cameron is totally lost.
Are you guys still here?
Larissa, you get in there. Ken, go on. Allie, you let us know what you think. I already know what I think, and I haven't even tasted. So it starts with, well, first you do a beautiful lattice of the bacon in your pan.
Now, if you're uncomfortable with, weaving the bacon like this, you can just put the strips in there. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, just as long as you line the pan with bacon. And then I'm going to start here. I've got some mushrooms and some onions that I've been sautéing. I don't know if you can smell them, but it's like
wonderful.
They're incredible. So once the mushrooms and the onions are all softened and they're smelling really, really good, I'm going to layer the flavors. I'm going to add some aromatics, some red chili flakes.
Okay.
Toss those in. Some ground fennel. You're kind of getting your sausage vibes, kind of that
because it's going to flavor the meat.
Some garlic.
Of course.
Garlic's always good.
Garlic makes everything better as well.
And I'm going to stir this in just to kind of marry all those flavors.
How many times, because as you know, in a test kitchen, you have to test things. How many times have you tested this one?
I would say in the test kitchen, I've tested this probably 3 or 4 times. I'm going to add some red wine just to deglaze the pan. Lift any of those sticky flavorings off the bottom of the pan, because that's good stuff. You don't want to wash that away when you wash the pan.
Of course.
Is that about average, 3 or 4 times? Is that?
I would say usually it's 3 or 4 times, but I do have a record.
The record goes to?
It goes to an absolutely incredible. Okay, so I've got the wine in here. I'm just going to set these aside. I've got to get later the suspense.
25
Okay, we're just going to cool these mushrooms down.
Okay.
Okay, so my record is 43 times.
Oh my goodness, what was that?
It was a focaccia recipe.
Why
focaccia?
So many times?
It was Nancy Silverton, famous Los Angeles chef, and she's a wonderful person, and I think what I love most about her is she's such a perfectionist. Which, is kind of what our test kitchen's all about. It's all about making sure that the recipes are tested sufficiently, so when you go cut that recipe out of the paper or find it online and make it at home, it's going to work.
Exactly.
So many recipes that run nowadays, they've never been tested, and you see the photos and you don't know if it's the real deal.
Correct.
All of our stuff is tested and frequently retested. But yes, Nancy Silverton's focaccia is a record. But go to the LATimes.com site and you can find it. It's incredible.
Yeah, listen, all of your recipes are retested in my own home.
I'm
by
so
that
glad.
I mean I just make them and I retest them with my family. They're so good. Okay, so we have our mushrooms.
Okay, so
we've got them over here that have cooled.
They're cooled, and so what I'm going to do is while these mushrooms were cooling, I soaked some breadcrumbs in some heavy cream.
Oh, okay.
So we were mentioning that some meatloaf recipes have a lot of breadcrumbs.
Yes.
And got a lot of carbs.
Not so much.
This is kind of a lower carb. So if there's any virtue to it,
Don't think I didn't notice that.
Oh, sorry.
I spotted that.
Thank you.
Great.
So you can feel a little virtuous.
Yeah, and I am as I'm devouring this.
And then we add an egg as well.
And then we're going to add an egg.
Okay, I'll be your sous chef.
Oh God, thank you so much.
Very good.
You want a job in the test kitchen?
Oh please, I would love that. That would be my dream come true.
And then I've got a cup of marinara sauce.
Okay, just
so you kind of got that Italian.
All right.
It's kind of like meatloaves, but basically it's the same thing. A cup of Parmesan cheese, right?
Nice.
I mean, because like bacon, cheese makes everything better.
True.
And then, okay, to be virtuous again, we've got a little green. We've got some chopped parsley.
Smart. Nice.
So, when you're cutting through the slices, you see the green in there, and you're like, yeah, I'm eating something healthful.
Right. But it does sort of lighten it up a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. Nice coloring and a touch of flavor.
And then,
okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my hands dirty for this. We're going to add some ground pork and some ground beef.
Okay.
And really the only way to do this is by kneading it in with your hands.
About 50-50 pork and beef?
Yes, equal parts.
Okay.
And the beef is a lower fat beef. It's only 10% fat because you're going to have the fat from the bacon that's going to be, as it cooks, that bacon's going to be really moistening the meatloaf so it stays nice and tender as it bakes.
Here, so I'm going to move this for you.
This is a glorious mess right here.
And then you have to pack it in here.
You've got to pack it in. Now, you want to knead it in so everything's sufficiently kneaded, but, you know, it's funny. Meat is a lot like bread. When you're kneading bread, you don't want to overdo it because it actually makes it tough. Mm-hmm. Okay, so once we've got everything ready to go, we're going to go ahead and pack this in.
Okay. Look at that.
Your hands look like a horror film, but it's delicious.
It's so worth it.
Okay, make sure that you don't have any air bubbles in there.
Okay.
And just get all that love in there.
Beautiful.
Well done.
And then we flip it. Now here's where.
Oh man, yes.
Okay.
Why don't you cook it in the as it is?
Well, because you want the beautiful.
You know, it's funny. One of the things we tested when we were testing it in the kitchen was I tried it in the loaf pan, and so much of the fat congealed around there that it didn't bake up right.
Okay, so let's flip this. I'll go
Now,
like that.
what can we do for your hands there? Do you have something?
It's just gonna go. Well, first we're gonna.
Okay, so
flip.
what I'm
first
going
we'll
to
flip.
do is I'm actually going to put this over here. I'm going to lay the parchment over it, just so
Smart.
added insurance.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like we need a drum roll.
I know. Ready? Yay!
There we go. Okay.
And-
Ta-da!
I'm so nervous.
All right, Noelle, while you that is beautiful, by the way.
That's gorgeous.
While you wash your hands,
350 degrees for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then bump up the heat to 400 just until the bacon crisps, like 15 to 30 minutes.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That is beautiful. That is so well worth it.
Oh my God, thanks so good.
Wow, Noelle. Oh, we have to cut it. We don't even have any.
Wow.
Should I do it or should I wait for you?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead and cut
Start
it.
cutting. Everybody, while you're cutting and you're cleaning your hands over there, I'm going to tell everybody at home for more from Noelle, visit her social
Noelle.
media at Carter Noelle, and obviously this recipe will be at hallmarkchannel.com. I know.
Oh,
she's
that
lost
is
her. You guys dig in. Thank you so much.
What do you
Noelle, for
think?
being here.
Thank
So
you.